putain, tous les coureurs ont été fous. C'est Froome. Mais si, putain, tous les coureurs ont été fous. C'est Froome. Mais si, putain, tous les coureurs ont été fous.
We have Chris Froome. I'll also just cut to that in a second. Just showing the gains. I didn't do Tour de France this year because I got too swole. Anyway, let's have a look at Chris Froome here. Altercation with the police.
C'est Froome. Mais si, putain, tous les coureurs ont été fous. C'est Froome. Mais si, putain, tous les coureurs ont été fous. C'est Froome. Mais si, putain, tous les coureurs ont été fous. C'est Froome. Mais si.
Alright, so here's the photos here. This is from Albert Sakal from Twitter. And we can see here that the police officer just doing his job, but doing a bad job, trying to do a good job, grabs Chris Froome. He probably thought Chris Froome was some meth addict, and Chris Froome's about to line up and hoof him off the fucking mountain. This is pretty... Here's the thing, there's a bodyguard there. What is the bodyguard doing? You know, how is someone grabbing Chris Froome? Like, the bodyguard should be on Chris Froome's left, and Chris Froome should be right. And, you know, like, there's got to be better organisation, so that's pretty poor. So, anyway, the gendarme, the police officer, grabs Froome. What do you think about that? Was Froome's reaction justified? I think it was. He didn't hit the officer. He just said, fuck you. It's here at the moment. Chris Froome's trying to win the Tour de France. And look how lean he is, though. Look how lean Froome is. This is crazy. He's crazy lean. Is Chris Froome too lean this year? I predicted him to win. I still think about that TT tomorrow. Anything can happen. My money's still on Froome. You know, he is the most experienced rider in the peloton at the moment right now in terms of winning big races. Chris Froome's got the most experience. I don't understand what's going on there, why he hasn't dominated like he had in the Giro. Many reasons. Or maybe, here's the thing, we need to see power files. We need to see if Froome's performance has dropped off, or if Big T and Big G, GT, his performances has gone up. So maybe Froome's just doing normal, but the other guys are doing better in terms of their powers even up. So we need to see power files. That's what we need to see. But we don't see that in cycling because nothing's really changed, if you know what I'm talking about. And that's fine. That's just business. That's pro sport. These guys are paid to win, and they have immense pressure on their shoulders. And if they don't win, then they get fired. They get sacked. So you have to do whatever it takes. Listen to your team doctor, your private doctor. You have to do whatever it takes to win. If you want another contract for next year, or if you want to earn that coin. So houses, mansions in Monaco don't come cheap. So I totally understand. It's a crazy world living. It's first world problems. Meanwhile, in Africa and North Korea. Anyway, let's look at that Chris Froome footage again. One more time. I think Chris Froome was in the right. I think the cop was in the wrong. That could have been bad. Chris Froome could have sprained his ankle. Could have twisted his knee. He could have popped his little shoulder out of joint. I mean, the dude's like weighing like 55 kilos or something. Like, you don't manhandle a pro GC rider like that. So the cop did just, what the fuck? And why did the cop grab the little guy, not the big guy? You know, that's the cop is just not thinking. It's the meathead cop trying to do his job, but failing. I mean, like at the Tour de France, you don't know who fucking Chris Froome is, and your job's a cop. Like, what are you doing? How do you not know who Chris Froome is, and you're a police officer at the Tour de France? Your job is to protect the riders, and the most famous rider in the bunch, the winner of the last 4 or 5 editions, you grabbing him off his bike. It's like, seriously, big fuck up. Anyway, good thing Chris Froome's alright, and I think he's still going to win tomorrow. We'll see, but what a crazy, crazy race it's been. Thanks for watching. Leave comments down below. Was the officer justified, and will Chris Froome win?
Carbs, carb the fuck up, motherfuckers. Carb the fuck up. Corn, rice, potatoes, yams, bananas, mangoes, dates, plantains, melons, blueberries, blackberries, mulberries. Get them motherfucking carbohydrates in. Go vegan, motherfuckers. Carb the fuck up, the fuck up, the fuck up.